Talking about Ego, we are currently running at 19 stores, going on 25 by the end of the year. About almost 25% of the retail comes through e-commerce between our own website, which is verygo.com, Daraz, and Yevo. And we want to grow this market, so in the next 12 months we want to hit almost 40-50% of our revenue coming through e-commerce. We do about 150 SKUs over one quarter. The portion of the target market that uses social media or a smartphone is massive. It could be close to 90-something%. Because of that, our maximum efforts are using social media and other digital methods more than more conventional methods. And because of this target market defined, we feel that e-commerce is a huge part of our future. As far as the question goes of how long it takes for a design to get translated into production and then go onto the shelf, it's almost a 60-day process here. We run pretty lean JIT. What happens is that rather than doing huge collections, we do mini collections. So one collection is usually 5 to 8 styles, and we usually put in about 2 collections every week. In terms of launches, like if you're launching the spring line or summer line, again, post August 2016, one launch will be 5 or 6 collections, so about 20 to 30 to 40 styles. Fairly big launches, but divided into mini collections. So about 60 days to go from design to shelf. From design to manufacturing, which is almost a 45 to 55 day process, it turns from a sketch into a pattern. The pattern turns into a sample. The sample goes into an approval process for fit, design, color, embroidery, print, what have you, and price point check. Once it sort of gets through that, if we do something called grading, which is creating the rest of the sizes in the pack, and then the order is placed to our internal manufacturing unit. The manufacturing unit puts it into a schedule for every one of the processes, from cutting, embroidery, printing, stitching, packing. Once that is done, a merchandiser follows it through, and then it lands into packaging and distribution. This whole cycle is most of it is in-house. The dyeing of the fabric and the printing is not, where we partner in with another manufacturing concern. E-tailing, now about 25% of our retail, if not slightly more. And when I mention that, I mean 3 stores. I mean our e-commerce website, which is verygo.com. Then we sell through Daraz, and we've just taken on Yevo.com. In the last year that we've sort of embarked on the e-commerce journey, we've realized that it's fairly difficult. Now, most people, like I knew about a year ago, think that selling through e-commerce are much bigger margins, easy to sell, you can get things done like that. It's not true. E-commerce requires a whole new platform and a lot of action. All the way from e-commerce strategy to photo shoots of actually different levels for e-commerce and social media promotion. A lot of copywriting, a lot of advertising to bring traffic on your e-commerce store. Then the pricing strategy. It needs to match the pricing strategy at the store. So basically, whatever your strategy is for e-commerce will have to apply across the platform. Then discounts, promotions, packaging, logistics, distribution, and running your call center, automating your call center, then running reverse logistics, exchanges and returns. So it's a lot of work. Now, once you start e-commerce, you do realize that the e-commerce need to move above a certain number, because below a certain number, the cost of marketing for e-commerce does not work. So the number that we have in mind that we want to achieve over the next year is far higher than what we're doing right now. Not that we're doing bad numbers, we're doing great numbers and it's quite profitable, but we feel that we can do much bigger than that. we've just sort of partnered in or taken on a e-commerce back-end solution. The company is called Retail Logics, and again, to sort of deliver at a reasonable value, what we've done is that my photo studio, my graphic designers, my entire infrastructure for this have sort of moved in with our retail partner, and they obviously are using that to give services to other people as well, thus bringing costs down. Certain part of the DNA has to stay, so we've got a much better policing system to make sure that our solution is unique and different from other people that they are also serving. How does starting e-commerce affect the brick and mortar business? My answer is that it does not. One common strategy will keep from them sort of getting on each other's toes. There is separate stock inventory kept for the e-commerce business, so it doesn't eat into the inventory. The one strength that the e-commerce business brings is that the store size is limitless. So the back inventory, the last season inventory or discount leftovers can move on to e-commerce, and so you can hold a much bigger inventory that way on e-commerce. Over the last about 3-4 years, since everybody's found social media and e-commerce, everybody's spending very serious amounts of money on social marketing, and the cost of acquisition has gone higher, but it's still a very reasonable cost. I think for the next couple of years it will stay reasonable. When I say reasonable, this is what I mean. If I calculate the cost of customer acquisition and retention in a brick and mortar store and compare it to the cost of converting a customer on e-commerce, the e-commerce is slightly higher. Having said that, once converted, if I work on retention, that email goes into MailChimp, or that SMS phone number comes in handy. So subsequent changes, sales, sort of makes it worth its while. So is it economical enough? Absolutely.